Good morning, my friends. It's your old pal Peace Love Music here with another Stacks Morning update brought to you by DeOrganized Media in partnership with Bitcoin Live Decentralized Broadcasting. And still a lot of unknowns in the Stacks ecosystem revolving around the Charisma update. So we're talking around that a lot in the space. Good news on the numbers front. Bitcoin came in at 63,592 just prior to the broadcast today, so it's hanging tight. It's about where it was yesterday. Stacks has actually rocketed up to $1.97. Actually jumped up from number 36 to number 33 in total market cap on CoinMarketCap, and Fear and Greed Index stayed steady at 51. So it looks like we've kind of hit that neutral range. It looks like we're holding steady there, and Stacks is actually doing great. Again, this is never financial advice. We're just giving you information. Always do your own research. Do not invest funds you cannot afford to lose, and that needs to be reiterated, obviously, more now than ever. I really feel bad for a lot of people in the space regarding what happened. It was I don't think it was actually anyone's necessarily fault. I don't think it was a lack of due diligence, although there's conflicting opinions and all that, but there's always going to be hacks and everything. Also, if you're watching and you like the show, say good morning, give us some live comments. We love to see that. So we did have Rosar show up last night. I don't know all the details because I wasn't part of that. I wasn't part of that discussion, but he has shown up. He has started communicating and becoming engaged publicly. I think he's still trying to figure out what's going on. But he is committed to doing the best he can to figure it out and to move things forward and to do whatever he can to compensate the community and make it whole. And I really am rooting for the guy. I think we all are. I know that there's always going to be conflicting opinions. There was a ton of money lost. But we are a strong community, and I think that there are some this is how communities grow, and bring new things to the space and develop new ways to protect the community. One being the Stack Safety Patrol, which I don't know if that's actually going to be the long-term name. But we are committed to creating a group. There's a bunch of people in the space that are committed to engaging. It looks like it's going to be done in conjunction with or directly through the Stacks Link platform that's being built, or where basically we're putting together a community initiative, an independent community initiative to implement audit and security tools to keep the Stacks community safe. How this looks, we don't know. We've just created a small working group committee to kind of figure that out. Further discussion will be on our DeOrganized space at noon on Wednesday. That's noon Eastern Wednesday. We're going to talk about it. And then the Stacks Link meeting on Thursday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern will also be a place where we kind of start hashing out some of the logistics on to next steps, who's going to be involved, and what it looks like. We're basically looking at creating a community organization. Not sure how it's going to be governed, not sure how it's going to be funded, and or exactly what it's going to do, short of trying to figure out ways to provide services and or just I guess what was really talked about was even just doing some kind of general regular auditing of projects, giving project scores, and making that available so that the community can see some kind of trust level or reputation level for contracts and projects and the deployers of those contracts. So we can just, another layer of keeping the community safe and secure. It's important stuff. And we do want to make sure that our community is secure. Obviously, it's not all bad news. Stacks is at $1.97. I think it's up 30% for the week. It had actually dropped down. It was holding that number 35 spot, and it came up to 33. So that's great. If you're in the stack space, this is a good sign. pushing $2. If it breaks $2, it'll probably hold. And if it breaks and holds $2, we could have a nice little run here heading into the bull cycle, which I think everyone's kind of needing right now in the space. Some good positive news. If you missed it, block 846 targeted for October 10th. That's when we're going to have fast blocks. That's going to be amazing. Cannot wait to get the fast blocks going. So many projects have some cool stuff, cool tools, cool implementations on new things that they're building out that they need the fast blocks to be able to function properly. So there's a ton of stuff that's probably going to launch into that mid-October time, and you're going to have this tremendous amount of new things going on in the stack space to round out the year. Very, very bullish sentiment, in my opinion. I love what's going on there. Nakamoto upgrade, block 846. I love the double numbers there. Cool stuff, and we're excited about that. And also, this is all in conjunction with, and I've heard it alleged that it could be Unhinged Munib that was the one that was behind the hack or the attack. I guess I've been told it's not really a hack; it's an exploit. But I don't think it was Unhinged Munib. I think Munib's actually been more unleashed than unhinged. I love the new texting and the personality and the character that's showing through on those posts on X from Munib. So everyone make sure you're following and or reposting and engaging with those, because it's great stuff for the community there. I love it. And we do also want to mention Zero Authority bounties. You go to ZeroAuthority.xyz, you check on the bounty, and that's where you can earn stacks. I think I've seen bounties as high as 100 stacks. I think there's about 15 active bounties on there right now. The latest one is Signal 21. They have a 49 stacks bounty they're looking for someone to create an icon for their X account, and they have the guidelines. So you go to the bounty, you find their bounty, find the one for them, you click on it, gives you the instructions on what you got to do. You create an icon following the guidelines, the color scheme and whatnot that they're looking for. And if they pick your bounty, you're going to get 49. If they pick your icon to use for their project, you're going to get 49 stacks. There's already been like 10 or 12 entries on their bounty, so there is some competition there. But if you're a designer or an artist or looking to even kind of work out some of those skills for yourself, this is a good opportunity to low risk potential reward for something like that. So check out Zero Authority bounties. We also have our bounty. There's a couple days left. We're running through the 30th, so there's 6 days left to participate. And if you actually follow DeOrganized, it's DeOrganized.btc on X. If we get to 1,000, our bounty's 20 stacks for completing the bounty, and you have to go. It's bounty number 12. You complete the bounty, you submit your submission, and one person's going to win 20 stacks. And if we actually get to over 1,000 followers by the end of the month, we're actually going to bump that up to 50 stacks. So you can win up to 50 stacks on our bounty. And I love what Zero Authority is doing. It's a great year. You should absolutely be on there if you're not. It's a great opportunity for the space to kind of establish an on-chain reputation. They have their gig marketplace. I can't wait until they launch their V2. That's coming soon with fast blocks as well. So we're really excited about that. Check out Zero Authority down. And if you don't have an account set up on there, you should. So check that out. Get an account set up on there. And without further ado, and I talked too long, I'm sorry for keeping it backstage too long. My brother, my good friend, my homie, Giga Pepe Spaceship Club. What's up, my man? How are you today?
Good morning. Good morning. Better day by day, man. You gotta take it one day at a time. Sometimes it's been a
man. I know you're kind of caught up in the middle of this thing, this charisma thing, and it's just because you've been putting in so much work and looking for opportunities and taking advantage of opportunities and just putting the work in. And I really feel for you, man, because I know you put a ton of work in. I'm a huge fan of the Memo Bots project, the Apples thing, and all that stuff that you were touching on in there, and all the stuff that Charisma was doing. I thought was really great stuff from a community building standpoint and from just a kind of innovation standpoint. Like, what can we do in the space? How can we do this? And I just feel really, I know that it's going to turn out well, right? I know that it's going to come back for you, but I know also how it can feel when well, why don't you tell us about it? Tell us what's going on in your world these days.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel for everybody that was affected. I was affected too. Especially, I think that all that's in the dark will come to light. So it's just a matter of time. The funds are frozen; they're not moving anywhere. So it's one of those things. Rosar came on and talked on the syndicate last night and kind of gave his take, and it seems like he's just kind of reiterating everything that was discovered about it already, and just giving his take. So he's come out and started to talk about what is his plan and all of that. I really I worked hard on the memo bots, man. I appreciate that. That was one of my collections that I had been working on for a good amount of time. So yeah, I figured it was a good chance to get everybody was getting excited about Charisma, and I wanted to get involved, and I liked what Rosar was doing. I thought it was fun. I thought it was different, and I thought that maybe launching a collection over there and it might be a good idea. So I got involved with him, and we discussed how to address it and go at it. And he did all the coding for the memo bots. I did all the art, and yeah, that's unfortunate that happened to Charisma. That's nobody ever aims for these things. Sometimes we can't see them coming. Sometimes it's not apparent. So especially when you have a lot of like community leaders that met him in real life and vouch for him and stuff. So it's one of those things we've got to keep our spirits high and just keep building.
Yeah, man, exactly. And I don't really quite I kind of understand what happened as far as it being an exploit in the governance model on how tokens were added to the staking platform. And somebody likened it to like adding an extension to the browser, and it just ended up being there was malicious code in that contract that allowed them to trick the system basically into thinking that a fake token was a real token and exchange, or they could create tokens. I'm not quite sure exactly how it works.
Yeah, it's like it was, to my knowledge and from what I've heard, it sounds like it was like a very sophisticated hack. A lot of it went right over my head. I'm not gonna lie. So I can't sit here and say that I know exactly how the exploit happened or any of that. But I can say that Rosar is now home and he's safe. So that's a plus. That's a good thing. A lot of people were concerned that it was a $5 wrench attack. So just thankful that he's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't consider that, but I think I kind of understood that he had been communicated with. I think it was XY0 had actually been able to get in touch with him at some point on Friday. So I had heard that it was limited communication because he was, it sucks, man. Number one, I'm a big music guy. I know Rosar loves music, and he puts all that work in, and he was at a music festival. So if you go to music festivals, that first night you're at the music festival, you're doing every opportunity to do whatever is available out there to have a good time. So it was probably a really tough mental state to be able to even digest what was going on in real time for him. And I feel so bad. I mean, I think it's horrible. It seems like it was probably planned to coincide. I mean, it makes sense that it would be planned to coincide. It was kind of public that he was going to be away. I knew because he had been on he was on the podcast with you last week or the week before last, where he had mentioned he would be away, and he had actually talked about possibly coming on space this week with us for DeOrganized to talk more about what's going on with Charisma. And now it's just all up in limbo, and it's really it's a gut punch. It really is a gut punch to the whole ecosystem. There was so much energy and so much going on Charisma, and so many tokens actually tokens and the communities around them. So that's the thing, that there's all these tokens that just got added, and all of them have these little micro communities that are all part of this broader community and very intermingled. So there was a lot of people maybe didn't get hit financially. I know some people did, and significantly, and those are obviously the hardest hit. But the whole community got kind of gut punched in this. It was not
Yeah.
it was not just the people that lost funds that got hurt by this. The whole Stacks ecosystem really gets hurt a little bit by this. And what I do find very optimistic, there are some positive things that have come out of this. The community rallied. The community immediately started raising funds to help the victims. Where that's going to go, how that's going to work out, I don't know. I wasn't really part of that process. But I do know that the people behind it have the right intentions in mind. They're looking to do the right thing by the community. And I'm sure that's what they'll do. And then there was also the piece where the community rallied and really came together very publicly, very openly, to figure out what the hell happened too.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know who did it, but we know what they did. We know what happened.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to Landy.
Landy,
for sure, definitely jumped all over it.
Michael, Stu, all the people from the syndicate guys. It was really a tremendous effort, a collective effort, to really kind of and all the tech guys, Trip and Monkey giving us his stuff, High Roller giving his stuff, like a bunch of the guys that know the dev side of it, that could actually look at the contracts and figure out what the hell happened. Landy making sure that people knew how to unwrap their tokens without touching the website, which I didn't even quite understand why that was. I guess it was. I talked to him yesterday. And it was really more of out of an abundance of caution. We don't know what we know.
Precautionary.
But I was like, oh my god, did I actually open myself up to vulnerability? Because I pulled my tokens off like around 3:00 on Friday, because I just happened to be people know that I created the moist, the fresh token, dry sock fresh token, and the fear launch, the fear token people, whoever's behind that account was helping me get it up on Charisma for staking, which was great. It was literally happening the same day. So I was just happened to be in the Charisma DAO Discord trying to figure out if I was doing the voting properly when I saw Vins. Actually, it was someone else first. Actually, I think it was MTM or M. I'm not familiar with the account. Actually, first started mentioning it, and then Vins was like, "Oh my god, the whole thing." I guess they noticed it on Velar first. The value of SCHA went to 0 or something like that.
Yep.
So I saw that and I was like, "Oh my god!" I didn't have a ton of funds, but I probably had a couple $100 worth of stuff staking. And so I pulled out my moist sock. I do hold moist sock, by the way. I'm just not a moist maxi. I do like, I value the moisture and the proof of work that represents. I just am a fan of changing your sock and getting fresh from, when you have to, right? But I got my moist sock out of there. I got my skull coin out of there, and I did it right through the platform because I didn't even know I didn't know you could just interact with a contract that way. So a ton of people actually got a bunch of education on how to interact with a contract without going through the platform. And that's in and of itself a tremendously valuable tool for the community. And then a bunch of us have kind of, there was a lot of spaces yesterday, and it looks like we're going to be creating. I created a group, Trip named it the Stack Safety Patrol, and put a little gold hall monitor sash as our icon, which is kind of amusing. I probably would have named it something else, but I'm going to leave it that way because it makes me smile every time I read it. But the focus of the group is going to be, and it's just a loose working group. It's probably going to go into the Stacks Link realm. We actually just rebranded the Stacks, the D Grants console channel has actually been rebranded Stacks Link. And then there's we're working on a private safety security group to kind of flesh out how we're gonna set it up, so that we can create maybe this independent, community oriented, community based initiative to create audit tools and security tools from that it's independent of any of the specific projects in the space, community focused, community run, but we got to figure out maybe what kind of governance we're going to have, how we're going to fund initiatives and that kind of thing. But I think something like that is needed in a space to grow. There's so that we can kind of create these opportunities for people to learn how to interact with a contract more safely if they're not sure, and also maybe create some kind of scoring system, or a reputation piece for contracts and projects and the deployers of those contracts. So that's really, there's cool stuff, there's good stuff that's going to come out of this. But for the short term, and there's definitely some people that lost a lot of funds, and we got to make sure that those people get made whole as well. I do want to shout out, we've actually had some really good, we've had some activity in the space. 300, good morning, my brother. Good morning. Hero Gamer said hi. There was a little bit back and forth with them. Binta said good morning. Good morning, Binta. She's so great. I love her. I love her personality. She brings a great vibe. Hattie's saying good morning. Hattie's the man behind everything. He helps everybody. So really love his presence and his support. Nobody famous said hi, good morning to Hattie. And lots of conversation going on over there. And good morning, Jamie. Now everyone's saying hi. Good morning, Jamie. And let's hear. Hero says, let's say if we have 5 categories, each category have 20 checklists. An example, 20 points. So I think he's saying, as far as a ranking mechanism for security, where there's 5 categories
on the auditing and the safety.
Right. Like if they've had their own audit and that information's available, they get points for that. And then he says risk assessment for smart contracts. I agree.
That there, I agree with what you're saying. There are going to be good things that come from this, this auditing platform, and I'm really glad that you guys have come together and started to figure out the hall monitor thing. I think it's a clever play. I think it's cool. If it makes you smile, it makes you happy, and it keeps the community safe, it's a good thing for the community. So I really like it. And this is an unfortunate circumstance, but there are community leaders coming together. I love to see all the community leaders like this. They're trying to raise funds. Me, Jack, and Rubes are also in a private chat talking about some stuff about what we could do to help raise funds and stuff. There are going to be good things that come from this, though it is hard to go through. And I took a significant loss myself, so I know what it feels like. But I think we'll come out of this safer and more educated than before. So it's a plus, and we've got to look at the more positive things there are. So it is.
Yeah, man. It's just a matter of what can we take away that's positive. obviously it was a bad thing that happened. It was not a positive experience. We'd all be better off if nobody figured out that exploit existed and took advantage of it. Because then we wouldn't have been hit. But there is opportunity to do positive out of that negative experience, and that's what this community is about. We know that there are going to be bad actors. Someone's always going to be looking to take advantage of a potential situation to exploit. But as a community, we can come together and make sure that we tighten up those loopholes, and we make sure that people are more protected and more capable of figuring out or knowing to be cautious and knowing what to engage in and what not to engage in. But yeah,
it was one thing because I don't understand the smart contract side of things, but I've heard and I've been kind of paying attention to what other people are saying, and apparently the governance vote for whatever did trigger the attack didn't show up on the governance page on Charisma, and also didn't show up on chain as a transaction or something like that. I heard something along those lines. So it was a very sophisticated.
My understanding is, so I'm not 100% certain of the governing process. I know it gets submitted, it has to get voted on to get into the governance or has to get people have to request it being put into the governance process, I guess. And then it's governed, yes. And you vote on it, and it's in that process. It's supposed to be in that voting process for like 7 days or something, but somehow they manipulated some part of it that got it to not show up on the radar as even being up for vote, and just got approved.
Yeah, so it's one of those things, you can be as safe as you can, but it's like if you don't. God, I got an alarm. Sorry about that. But
I know you're usually sleep until 9.
No, I got a very strict routine, so like it's one of those things. If I'm not on DeOrganized, like I'm usually like letting the dog out like right around this time, and then so I'm very punctual. I have alarms set throughout the whole day. So, but back to what we were talking about,
you're busy.
That's right. But what we were talking about is how it was sophisticated, and like how could we be safer next time. And it's one thing if it were to be on the governance page for like 7 days sitting there, but it wasn't visible, so I feel like it was unavoidable. Nobody could really see unless you were a dev on that side of things. Absolutely, like with a microscope checking 24/7. So that's my knowledge of the hack or exploit. And it's very painful because like I feel like I played a part in onboarding some people. I do have a following in the community, so me launching an NFT collection over there, obviously my followers and my community had a little exposure to that. So that stinks.
Man, but you weren't. I understand what you're saying, and you were hurt too, right? You weren't there. You didn't do anything wrong, man. I mean, so you're not culpable in that. Yeah, I probably was on Charisma more because of your stuff too. Not that, but I didn't. But that wasn't. No one forced me to do that. Like, you didn't know that it was prone for an attack either, right? So I mean, I understand what you're saying, but I don't think you need to. That's not your responsibility. I understand that you kind of maybe feel like that hurts you a little bit. It's a little bit of a bad look. I don't think I didn't hear anyone from your community indicate remorse or frustration with you over that though either.
No, not at all. And I'm very thankful that I have such a supportive community, and there are a lot of OGs from the community that reached out to make sure that I was okay as well. while I was going through all this. So it's, I mean, everybody was affected, like you said, whether it be firsthand or indirectly. The Stacks ecosystem took a hit whenever Prisma got exploited. So it doesn't feel good, and like know that it's I definitely took a hit myself personally, and there's nothing I can do but continue to do what I do and rebuild, and just keep kicking out dope shit. I can't let this affect me anymore. I've got to be headstrong and
So the
keep
project,
it
the other
moving.
projects, you're working on some other projects. You're
Yeah,
working on the Tremp project, right?
yeah.
Can we?
So I'm working on that. I still have the Stacks Invaders backgrounds for the Stacks Invaders that Ian is doing some coding for right now. So I'm excited about that. Uh, I just generated the Trimp collection for the first time yesterday. I got all the most of the traits built out, and just seeing how the collections come together is getting me more and more excited. And shout out to the Trimp guys. They are going to donate 20% of the mint funds to those affected by the Charisma hack. So big shout out to those guys. Those
Awesome.
guys are awesome. I can tell their heart is in the right place. Most
I
of their
know.
take
Yeah, a bunch
location.
of people. Jack and Rubes stepped up
Yeah,
right away. I think
yeah.
Visions also contributed to that original cause, initial cause, and a bunch of other people. Enjo just announced yesterday. He's doing like $1,000 worth of stacks and $1,000 worth of Welsh or something like that, like, or 1,000 stacks actually. So it's almost two
It's just
thousand dollars. Like,
amazing.
yeah, man, there's a lot of great people in this space. Um,
It
and
feels like a family, it's my extended family, and it feels so
it
good
is
to
very
know
much.
how closely knit this community is, and like it makes me feel better. I know, like I knew I was in the right place, but that just that reassures me again. Sorry.
No problem, man. Time to bring the dog in.
So
uh,
it's
Nobody famous.
crazy.
Thanks for dropping by this morning, man. I know you had to run. We've actually had some great conversation. Hattie actually said, so um, a safety matrix, and I guess that might be an interesting way to talk about it or to look at it, as far as what we're looking to do. And I just want to reiterate, our Wednesday space. We're having a space. Our regular space is at noon Eastern on Wednesdays. We're going to designate this space to talking more about this subject, the expansion of, or the creation of, or how do we move forward with a community initiative, um, to to create a safety matrix, and or what kind of tools? How does that look? What does it look like? And how does it get implemented? So tune in on Wednesday. I didn't read this. I keep forgetting the Stacks. This is what made me famous, was reading the Stacks calendar, right? So I just want to remind everybody, the Stacks DeFi show is at 10 a.m. These times are all Eastern. Stacks DeFi show is at 10 a.m. today, Eastern. Zero to Clarity, Gary's Zero to Clarity class. If you're interested in learning Clarity code, by the way, I do understand a little bit more about how smart contracts work over the last few. I think we're on week number 4 or 5 for the Gary Reiger is teaching people Clarity. It's a beginner class, Zero to Clarity. It's at noon every Tuesday. It's via a Google Meet class, and it's basic beginner stuff. So if you have no experience with Clarity, it's a great way to get exposed to some of the basic concepts, how the contracts work. Tune into that at noon. And then also Art on Stacks with Good Kitty and Nieta. That's from 3 to 5 p.m. Also on Tuesdays, also 3 to 5 p.m. Eastern time. If you haven't been paying attention, if you're into music or art or any of that kind of stuff, on chain, you definitely need to check out Art on Stacks. And I apologize for that slight uh, aside there, because I keep forgetting. But you had mentioned before how you don't know really understand smart contracts, and I don't have a whole lot of experience with it either. But that reminded me, oh yeah, Gary's thing is at noon today, and I gotta shout that out. And it's a great opportunity for people, by the way.
Yeah, shout out to Gary and what he's doing. I was looking at that. I also talk. Shout out to Trip. He's saying in the comments here, he's a wake up giga. So shout out to Trip.
Yeah. You missed that. I saw it.
Yeah, I just saw it. I was reading through the comments. So yeah, shout out to Gary, man. Like teaching people, educating people. I think it's important, very very much needed in the space. So I think that
Hero Gamer wants me to let everybody know, and everybody should know this. Let us know. Let Hero know. Let me know. We want to let you. If you have a regular weekly space on X and you're in the Stacks community, let us know so we can get you on the calendar. It's really, if it's on the calendar, it's way more likely people will tune in to see you. So if you have a regular space or you're looking at doing a regular space, get in touch with Hero Gamer and or message us, DM me. I can get that information to him as well, but we want to get that on there. So let us know. We want to be able to promote everybody building stuff in this space or talking about it. And Hattie, you're right. We should redo the calendar. And Trip. Oh yeah, it's a really good pace. It's very understandable. It's usable stuff. Like he went through how to create your own NFT and what you need to do to follow the protocol so that you can be get on Gamma and the other platforms that list them, so that so that your contract matches what they need and that kind of stuff. So it's just basic stuff, but functional, usable stuff.
Yeah, and Hattie made a good point. Need to get Gary's sessions recorded. I think that'd be cool because like a lot of the time I'm working on my like artwork and stuff, and me and Trip and Monkey actually talked as far as like, hey, I need to learn some clarity. I think that it'd be beneficial, and it was like it'd take away time from the art, so it's really what you want in that sense, and I want to focus mainly on the art, and if I can find a dev to work with, then I'm going to work with them. So it's one of those things, but I think that it would be beneficial to have the spaces recorded because I would take a look. I would take a look, on my downtime and just see what I can pick up.
I'm pretty sure Gary is recording. So you need to get into, and I'll add you. I can add you. I'm going to add you. You should be in the group. There's a group DM on X where he actually posts up link or links to videos or links to the prior sessions so that people that weren't able to participate live can actually catch up on it. And so I do believe it's recorded just through because it's a Google Meet. You can record those and then have the video available.
Is it so that YouTube, or is it like where is the video posted at? Because I might share.
I think it's just available. I think you have to be in the DM group to see it or to get those links. I don't think he's sharing it anywhere else. But I'd be happy to actually broadcast those live too if we can figure out a way to just cover it with Bitcoin Live and DeOrganized. I just don't want to. I'm not sure whether I know he has his own processes and stuff, and I'm not sure if he wants. I think he might prefer to actually control the content coming out versus just having it be live feed stuff. But I'll talk to him about it, and see if that's what if he has a preference there. We chatted about it briefly, but I know there's a lot of work involved in doing this stuff, and it's for him and for everybody. So lining these things up it's in the works. It's in the works. We've talked about it as far as getting that content, but I'm going to add you to the group chat on it so that you can.
I think I might be in there. Isn't it? It's the Zero to Clarity group, right?
Zero to Clarity group, right?
I'm in there. I am in there. I have so many DMs and stuff. Sometimes
it's at noon. Buried. It's at noon on a weekday, right? It's at noon on a weekday, so it's hard to. It's not easy always to get available, and a lot of people are there one day, and the next week they just can't make it or whatever. And then so that's why he puts together and has the like you can catch it up later. Usually it's a couple days after he throws up the prior some of the segments or might even just be slides that are available, so you can kind of go through the slides. It's a great project though. And I mean, it's same thing with like Stacks Labs, and there's a bunch of people now. I think he's got 20 people in the class that are going to be learning Clarity. And now we have this group of new blood that's going to be able to come out and do some dev and coding stuff for us once they generate their skills. And those are marketable skills that are just going to be more and more in demand as Stacks grows. So really exciting stuff going on.
Yeah, I think that we might see some, like, I know that we were talking about needing auditing tools. Maybe that might be a little focus for everybody. They could learn around it. Might be beneficial for Gary or Sam to teach people a little bit about auditing, how that could work on Stacks and Look. So it's one of those things. I think everything's relevant that they're teaching, and I think it's awesome, amazing. I want to see like the different applications, what everybody builds to, so it's pretty cool. I've seen some like screenshots of some of the people that are in Stacks Labs and actively learning how to code. So it's a lot of names that I'm familiar with that are supporting me and supporting different leaders in the community, and I'm excited to see them make their own communities and build something.
Yeah, man, it's the community we're in, and 300 just posted, "We got you, fam," and we know you do, bro. 300 is everywhere, and that's what it is all over the place. 300 supports us. Sam supports us. Gary supports us. Trip and Monkey and Hero are here, and Hattie is here supporting us, and Jamie Fletcher, I saw him in here chatting a little while ago. What's up, Jamie? It's a great community. Binta comes in and says hi. You're always supporting, even when you're not on the show. And then you're supporting by coming on and chatting with us as well, man. So let me ask you this: when's that NFT launching? Do you know?
Looking like mid-October. It's right around the corner, so it's one of those things I've been working on for the last couple of weeks. I still have some like final details to do, and some one-of-ones to make and that type of stuff. But it's looking like mid-October. I've kind of pushed it to the front so we can kind of kick it out there as soon as possible and start raising some funds for people that lost in charisma. So I'm really excited. I think the artwork is coming together awesome. So I'll have some teasers and some more information on that here shortly that I'll be posting about today.
And people can also support you by minting a GigaPepe V2 right now, right?
That's right. So GigaPepe V2 is the flagship collection for the Gigaverse in the GPSC. That's the there's an OG collection that's like 130 pieces, and GigaPepe V2 is a 10K collection with traits and rarities. So yeah, you could if you want to support the GPSC, go out there and mint a GigaPepe V2.
I actually have a trait in the V2, by the way. People may not know. There's a shout out to me because I was helping you out when you were kind of just getting started out with that in the Discord and everything. So you gave me I'm so flattered again. Thank you. Humbled by that. And it's a super cool trait too. So it's like, it makes me look way cooler than I am.
You are cool, man. You were you're early to a lot of things. You're in the know, and DeOrganized is always where it's at. So it's one of those things. Like you knew about me before I started to like get a following and a community together. I had a very small community, and you were one, and you were always there to help guide me and help me in my process, man. So like that skin for the GigaPepe V2 is well earned. You were definitely an inspiration to me in my early stages of learning how to build. So
man, so this is so people don't know, we met each other through the Node Rocks platform. You were in the OG Node Rocks with us, and you had your Discord channel, and I saw you had so many cool features in the Discord. And I don't get into Discord as much because I'm between doing these things and trying to keep up with everybody on X, and X seems to be the main hub of where people are now. And then you also got people are on Discord, people are on console. It's kind of getting hard to keep up with everybody everywhere. But you had such a really great mode of how you were engaging your community on the Discord and providing the rumbles. I forgot. I
Yeah,
actually forgot about that until we would do. I won a few rumbles. I had the first winning streak on the rumbles. I won like 3 times in a row. And it was just fun stuff. It was a fun atmosphere, and I saw the personality. I love the artwork and the creativity involved. Um, so yeah, man, that's why I stuck. That's what attracted me to kind of keep following you and being a Gigapepe Spaceship Club member. You provide a great atmosphere for your people, and then there have been a lot of you're also very involved in the community, and not that this isn't what it's about, but I have a bunch of tokens in my wallet. Many of them are nothing tokens, right? But I have them because I was participating in your project, and you're just very well respected in the space. So the people that are building projects out here want you to be a part of it. So they reward your community.
yeah,
So if you're not holding a Gigapepe V2, you should absolutely go to Gamma today and mint one. It's 3 stacks. You got 3 stacks. Even if you have one, go mint another one. Help a brother out. He's all over the community, and for 3 stacks, you can really actually help somebody out today. So go mint a Gigapepe V2, and then when Tremp comes out, mint that too.
thanks, Peace. I appreciate that, man. It's been a wild ride, man. Getting to know everybody and especially right before the bull run. So it's really awesome to have that sense of community. Know so many OGs that are building their own communities, and then see how they're interlocked. It's such a small space right now, and it's very tightly knit. It feels good to be part and to be able to contribute to the growing culture and stacks. It's one of the things that I have in my bio. I want to contribute and participate in the culture of stacks, the stacks blockchain. So it's been amazing to be accepted by so many, and building my art and sharing and helping develop that culture. It's awesome. Feels good.
You earned it, bro. You earned it. You really do, and you keep earning it. So keep doing what you're doing. I love having you on here and chatting with us. Also, shout out Off My Lawn, Zest Protocol. They're actually having me come in and chat on their. They have a Tuesday thing on their Discord, so I'm going to be in there chatting with them in a couple hours at 11 a.m. Eastern time. I do have some other stuff. I have to kind of start cutting this short. What else you got? Anything else you wanted to let the people know about today, man?
Yeah, keep loving the room, keep the frequency high, as I like to say. And we'll make it through this, guys. This isn't the end, and we'll all come out of this more educated and strong. So keep your head up.
Right on. Right on. And Jamie, good morning, Jo, Squidfin. Good morning, Squidfin. And Jamie says, don't stop, GPSC. Your art rocks. And your disposition and your demeanor and your positive attitude rocks even more, bro. So
Thanks.
with that, the message is simple from GPSC. Keep loving the room. We'll get past this. All is not over. We're in a great community. Good things are coming to stacks, and we're always building, and the community responds, and just keep going. Just keep going. Y'all have a blessed day. My brother, thank you for joining me today. As always, I love you, and we'll talk to you guys all soon. Thank you all for